He's so silly. Hey, what's up guys? So I'm always talking about my fiance on our channel, but I know that you guys have never met him before. You probably are getting a little curious. So this is Sean.
Hello.
My fiance. He is home right now. So we've just been hanging out, enjoying some time together. Actually, we are out in Dana Point at the beach house because we are getting married tomorrow. We're super, super excited about it. Like, so we've just kind of been planning how we're going to do everything, how things are going to go. And, you know, like, the house that we're staying in is gorgeous. I think my sister is going to show you guys. But we just kind of wanted to come and tell a little bit about us, our love story, how we met. And so I'm going to let Sean start because I love hearing him talk about it.
Okay, so how we met. Alright, well, it started off when when I first started working at Hollister in 2010. And she was one of the models there. We called ourselves models. And in any case, I was always thinking to myself, man, this girl's pretty cute. But it wasn't until like 2011 when I got all my hair chopped off that she's just like, hey, you look half decent now. So anyways, we were at the University of Memphis at the time. We ran into each other and we're like, hey, let's just like try to have some lunch dates here. Not really dates, we're just like,
well, that went a little differently from what I remember because, see, I ran into Sean at school one day and I was like, oh, hi. And he's like, you know, it's real crowded in here. We'll get a table quicker if we sit together.
That was really smooth. So, like, our first actual date, I mean, I wouldn't even say, like, because I was trying to be sneaky. I was like, hey, we should just, like, hang out or something and see a movie, you know? And, like, we had been trying for a long time to do something because, like, either she was working or I was working. We could never get the time to, like, actually do anything. So it was, like, not looking good for the old date idea. So anyways, I was like, let's hang out. So finally that day came out to hang out. All the restaurants were closed. The theaters were even closed. I don't know why we waited so late.
Well, you were working.
Yeah, I was working. That's why. But anyways, IHOP was still open, and I was just like, crap, this is lame. I don't want to take her to IHOP for our first. Okay, whatever. So we just went with it, and hung out. It was I was a little awkward, but you know, I somehow got it to work for that night. But on the way back to her house, I was like, hey, we should, like, this is so cool. I was like, hey, we should have a thumb war. So literally, like, it was like this, like doing a thumb war right here, and I was just like, we're holding hands now. I got you. Yeah, I can hear the. I'm just gonna walk off. Right.
That is exactly how it happened. I was like, look at him. He thinks he's so slick. Like, I mean, I have no idea. I mean, when he was like, we couldn't find anything open except IHOP, like, at first I was like, do I really want to go? But, like, he was so nice, and we have been talking as friends, and I was like, well, you know, he was working, and it's just that nothing else was open. And so we went there, we ended up having a good time, and our next date was a lot nicer.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Except for that for movies.
Oh, yeah. So he can't pick movies when we go see movies because he always picks terrible ones. And, like, we're at the end of the movie, we're just looking at each other like...
I'm not picking movies again.
But, so that's just kind of the story of, like, how we met. So tell them about, like, how you knew when you were going to ask me out.
Okay, so I always knew I was going to ask you out. I just had to figure out how and when.
Aww.
You know? It's like playing chess. You want to, you know, never mind. Anyways, so it was when her and I were having, like, lunch dates. It would be, like, her and her sister, and, like, sometimes I'd have another buddy along. But, like, me and her would always be, like, kind of low-key flirting. And I remember one day, like, the conversation came up. It's like, oh, you're Italian. And she, like, did this little number here. And I was just like, no, I'm not. But, oh, yeah, actually, what was it? Yeah, I am. Yeah, for sure. But all of our conversations were pretty hilarious. I know I'm not describing them like, For the most part, my stories are kind of like, wow, you're kind of lame. But anyways, yeah, she would always like put a big old smile on my face whenever I was with her, and like whenever I'd walk off to class, we'd play like Words with Friends or something during class, because you know college is really lame. And I'm kidding, stay in school, kids. Anyways, so finally, it was like October 18th, 2011. I was just like, hey, we should like hang out at your house again. And that whole night, I was just like bombing, like not in a good way. It was just bad. It was real. I was just like.
He was so nervous, but he was so sweet. Like when he came, he brought me this multicolor rose I'll never forget. It was like pink and yellow and like light pink. It was so pretty, and so like it was just a single rose, and he gave it to me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. And like he would always bring me flowers to school whenever, like after he asked me out, he'd always bring me flowers, and like all the girls would be like, oh, I wish my boyfriend brought me a dozen roses to school.
Yeah, but that night, October 18th, she was like, why are you being so weird? And I was like, and that went on for like a whole entire movie. It was pretty terrible. And, I mean, at least for me, because I was like, crap, you bought me this one. And, anyways, I was finally like, will you please be my girlfriend? She was like, what? I'm sorry, what? Well, you please be my, you know. I was fine. You just took a deep breath. Will you please be my girlfriend? And she's like, was that so hard? Yeah, she said yes. Thank goodness.
Yes.
And yeah, just so began our love story. And like she said, like at the University of Memphis, I was a little frat boy at the time, so I'd roll up with my aviator shades and my goofy swoop, and I'd have a button up with some ridiculously stupid chino shorts, and I'd be rolling up like with a dozen roses, walking through campus like, what up? And people would like, I mean, like she said, like, oh, I wish my boyfriend would bring me a dozen roses, and like, here's a tip, guys, don't stop that, because that's how you win them, and that's how you keep them.
Yes.
So anyways, I'm not trying to brag, I'm low-key bragging.
That is how you keep them.
Anyways, yeah, I do stuff like that. And then we had this like Pandora bracelet charm that we do. I remember I brought in like, I found a rose charm. And it was like, I've always called her my blue rose. I was like, brought it to her. Like, I like to do that stuff in public because it's kind of fun.
Yeah, tell them about my nickname, Blue Rose.
Blue Rose. I called her that because a rose is already beautiful, but a blue rose is rare. And it's like kind of this, it's hard to find, like when you look it up online, its meaning is like it's hard to find, it's mysterious, it's, you know, amazing, magical.
So that's pretty much how we met. He's given you like a little bit about our love story. So where we are now as far as getting ready to get married tomorrow, like how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you both? Like how do you feel?
You know, I'm not even gonna front, like, I'm a little bit nervous. But, you know, I mean, I can't be like all macho all the time, but, you know, it's getting, I'm more excited though, I would say. It's like finally, like, to marry my best friend and my partner in life, you know. That's something that I definitely look forward to. Especially if you know my career choices, I jump out of airplanes for a living. So, yeah, to say I'm like scared, no, this is more like excited. So.
He is a paratrooper, and he's really cool.
Not that cool.
He's cool. So, what is your favorite thing about me?
What isn't my favorite thing about you? Jeez.
Good answer.
Like, hold on, let me just pull out the world's largest book real quick.
He's so sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I love her smile, her beautiful hair, her beautiful eyes.
Aww.
Her cute little nose.
Aww.
And I love how she's always got my back too. Like being being in the infantry, like in the army, is just something that will drive you like absolutely crazy some days, and then like some days you like it. But having a woman there to back you up the whole time, like, it makes it a lot better for sure. And I think any airborne paratrooper out there or anybody that's in the military can agree that having somebody that's there for you makes your time in a lot easier. It's hard to do it on your own. You know, you have to deal with a lot of stress and you know, constant random stuff coming up that you don't want to do. But you know, getting to come back home to her, it just makes everything easy to me.
Oh, that's so sweet. So our proposal. Let's talk about how you proposed and how sweet that was.
All right, so at the time we were living in Memphis, Tennessee, and finding a romantic venue is very difficult. Like, very difficult to find anything there in that city. But anyways, sorry, that's not romantic to talk about. I got with her family, and her sister worked really well, like with me, finding like venues and how to like stage everything. So it started off like I arrived at her house, and this is on May 1st, 2015, and like we got in her car, and I was trying to like stall for time because the chauffeur that I had hired was a little bit like was running a little bit behind, and finally they showed up. It was like in a nice Cadillac, and I was just like, oh, fine, hey, get out of the car. She was like, what? I feel like that whole day was just kind of like, what, you know, like that. Anyways, what we did was well, we rode in the back of the car to this place called Twilight, and it's a rooftop. It's like a rooftop little restaurant that's in downtown Memphis, and we took some pictures up there. It's got a really nice view of the Mississippi River and the Memphis Bridge, and you know, it was kind of windy that day, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
it was kind of windy.
You know, I don't know if she knew what was going on at this point, but like there's this bell that's up there, and I was just thinking, oh, wedding bells. She won't catch on to that. And I was just like, let's stand by that and take a picture with that.
Oh, is that why you did that?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's foreshadowing wedding bells. And anyways, their food up there wasn't like anything substantial or worth talking about.
Yeah.
So like we went downstairs. It was like Metro 66, I want to say.
Something
and
like
they had chicken tenders there. And that's like her #1 like go-to.
Yeah, I love chicken tenders.
Yeah, me too.
He loves them now.
I like everything. You know, I'm not picky. Went down there, ate for a little while, and you know, just enjoyed each other's time. And then our chauffeur picked us up, and we went back to this church, and she was like, "What is going on?" Did we have to like wait for a little bit, really for him to be ready? And I think at this point she knew what was up.
I had an idea that something was going on.
Yeah. So, anyways, we finally go into this room that I got at this church, and when we go in, there's, you know, like balloons everywhere. There's a table on the far side with a ring box, and you know, candles like lining all the way up to it. And we walk down it, and like I pick up the ring box, and I was like so nervous. Like again, it's like back to October 18th, 2011. You know, having flashbacks. It's like, I just dropped to a knee, and then I said my speech. You're supposed to say your speech and then drop to your knee, and I did the reverse. I dropped to a knee, then said my speech. it was kind of funny, but she said yes, thankfully. Holy crap! Like nervous little wreck like myself that day.
So when he proposed, he had John Legend, You and I playing, and so I thought that was so romantic because like I love that song, and so I was pretty excited to hear that.
Yeah.
But that was very beautiful. It was a very beautiful proposal. I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
And my ring, I thought it was gorgeous, so he did good. He did good. So the future, like our plans for the future. What are our thoughts about like future things?
Going forward, well, for the most part, we want to be a couple that's together as much as possible, and I believe that having financial freedom and being responsible, open and honest with each other about everything is what we want the most. Because I'll be honest, when you vacation in California, you just kind of don't want to stop, and that's what I'd like to see for our relationship, is one where we can just enjoy each other. And she's a nurse, and I'm in the military, and both of those jobs require a lot of time. And what we would like to do is work towards a future where both of us get to see each other a lot more, and just experience each other, and not kind of just catch up in the middle, because that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on both of us. So that's what I'd like, to have more time. You think a lot about what you want in life. Is it more money? Is it more cars? You just want more time with people that you love. I think that's what matters the most to me, because we only get a limited amount. Every day is precious. So what would you like?
I think that sounds like a pretty good goal for both of us. Just like you said, being open and honest and continuing to make things work and last the way that we have all this time.
Yeah.
But I hope that you guys enjoyed meeting Sean. Like I said, we are going to get married tomorrow, so we're super excited. We're going to go prep for that. Once we get like our video and everything back, of course we'll give you guys a sneak peek into our wedding. But it's just going to be like a beautiful beach wedding. And I say beautiful because like I mean the beach. Like I'm not bragging on our wedding, but it's just going to be like on this, beautiful beach, like actually on a cliff overlooking the ocean. And so we're pretty excited about that. But we're just going to go ahead and get ready, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.